Hi, I'm Julie Kratz, and I am the author of the new children's book, The Little Allies, illustrated by Ed Mayo. Little Allies is a children's story about inclusion, diversity, and becoming an ally. Let's read together. Hi, my name is Allie Rogers. I am in Mr. Clark's 4th grade class at Friendship Elementary. I love school, especially math and science, but what I love the most is playing with my friends on the playground. I learned something really important this week. It all began on Monday during recess when I was playing with Prisha and Tommy. Tommy chased us around the swings, pointed at Prisha and said, "You don't belong here." Prisha stopped running and turned to Tommy. "Why don't I belong?" Tommy said, "You are different. You are not from here." You see, last week Prisha brought in Indian clothes for show and tell. It was really cool to learn about her family. They have a festival called Diwali. It is important to them as Christmas is to my family. Did Tommy think Prisha didn't belong because her family was from India? This made me feel weird. I didn't know what to do. Tommy hurt Prisha's feelings and I wanted to make her feel better. What would you do? Finally, I said to Tommy, "Prisha is my friend. She belongs as much as I do. She's fun to play with, and I like learning about India and her family." I think Tommy was surprised because he just stood there looking at us. Once we were back in class, Tommy did something neither of us expected. Tommy said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I don't understand why you don't celebrate Christmas. Everyone I know celebrates Christmas." Tommy's apology helped Prisha feel better. She was even brave enough to tell him more about Diwali. Diwali is a lot like your Christmas. We celebrate as a family and light diyas that are like candles. Diyas outshine the darkness. Like your Christmas, it is a special time for my family. It was amazing. I watched 2 kids become friends right before my eyes. Tommy and Prisha's new relationship was not all that happened that week. Let me tell you about my friend Henry. On Tuesday before language arts class, my friend Henry looked a bit confused. So I asked, "Henry, are you okay?" You see, I knew Henry was supposed to go to a special day class while we had reading. His teacher must have been late meeting him. Henry nodded. "I'm okay." He didn't look okay. He looked scared. Henry looked like he needed a friend. I asked, "Henry, what is it like to go to your special day classes?" Henry's face lit up. "I love going to my special classes. My teacher says that I have special powers." I'm so glad I waited with him. Instead of being scared, Henry was excited to tell me about his class. Now I wait with him every day and he tells me funny stories. This is how I see Henry now. On Wednesday during snack time, Mr. Clark read a story. It was about different jobs like firefighters and bankers, and then he asked us to share where our parents worked. This sounds like a regular day at school, right? Well, it wasn't at all. It was a really big deal. Let me tell you about my friend Jack. Jack raised his hand. When Mr. Clark called on him, he said, "My moms are both doctors." "Both your moms?" Prisha asked. She was probably thinking Jack just said it wrong. Jack said with a huge smile, "Yep, both of them. They're the best moms in the world." Jack is my friend. He invited me to his birthday party this summer. I learned that instead of having both a mom and a dad, Jack has 2 moms. Isn't that cool? Yasmine pulled on Jack's pant leg. "What about your dad? How does he feel about 2 moms?" The whole class watched quietly, confused. "I don't have a dad. My moms are my parents," Jack said, sitting back down. His smile was gone. A few of the other kids looked at each other, surprised. You know what I thought? This was just like what happened between Prisha and Tommy on the playground. My friends needed to learn more about Jack's family to understand. Mr. Clark knew just what to say. I was glad because I was too shy to say something with the whole class listening. Every family is different. And isn't that what makes each one special? What is most important is that families are filled with love. Thank you for sharing your story about your parents, Jack. I bet they know how important it is to do your homework and to eat your broccoli. The whole class groaned. I guess they really don't like homework or broccoli. On Thursday, I spent time with my friend Lucia. Lucia and I like to color together during free time. Her family is from Mexico and she speaks another language. Isn't that cool? I only speak English, but Lucia is so smart she speaks Spanish too. Sometimes kids tease Lucia because she doesn't always know the English words. I think this is why she is quiet at school. Lucia told me she likes when I help her find the right words when we sit and color. I love it when she teaches me Spanish words. Later in PE class, Coach asked us to line up. The girls were on one side and the boys on the other side. My friend Sam stood in the middle of the gym looking from one side to the other. Coach pointed for Sam to join the boys' side. What Coach didn't realize was that Sam did not identify as a boy or a girl. Sam had explained to me that this is known as gender non-binary. Sam looked really scared, so I stood next to Sam for support. Coach looked confused. Then Coach announced, kids born before January and June on my left, those born in July through December on my right. We're on the same team now. I was so happy Coach knew how to make Sam feel more included. Sam walked past the coach and smiled. Thanks, Coach. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you about what I learned. I'm almost there. Just let me tell you about my friend Yasmine. Last week we had twin day. We were supposed to dress up like another kid in our class. Yasmine and I decided to be twins. We both have long hair, the same pink shirt, and royal crowns from our matching Halloween costumes. Remember Tommy from Monday's story? Well, he didn't have a twin. I guess he wasn't as excited about twin day as some of my friends. When Mr. Clark was taking our picture, Tommy asked, Allie, who are you supposed to be twins with? I looked at him like he had 3 heads and pointed at Yasmine. We even wore matching sneakers and jeans. From head to toe, we matched. You can't be twins. Yasmine's nothing like you. She's black. I was so glad Yasmine knew what to say to Tommy because I did not. Yasmine said, Tommy, we know we don't look exactly alike. How could we? Nobody is exactly the same as anyone else. Tommy looked confused. Yasmine continued, my skin and hair are beautiful, and so are Allie's. We can be twins because we are both beautiful and smart. I still felt really weird about what Tommy said, but I didn't know how to make it better. I wanted to say Yasmine is exactly like me. She's smart, brave, and my best friend. Her black skin didn't change any of that. Thankfully, Mr. Clark said something that helped all of us. It's okay to call someone black, Tommy. What is not okay is to say it in a way that makes someone feel they are less because of the color of their skin. Tommy must have felt bad because I saw tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, Yasmine. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Now that I think about it, you and Allie are a lot alike. This is the part I've been waiting to tell you about. I promise all of my stories will make sense in a minute. Every Friday, Mr. Clark asks us to share what we learned during the week. For once, I'm ready with an answer. Mr. Clark said, class, let's share what we've learned this week. Do you have any volunteers? I raised my hand. Mr. Clark pointed at me. Allie, why don't you tell us about what you've learned? I learned that my friends aren't exactly like me. They're unique and different. I think that's what makes us all more interesting. Mr. Clark nodded. That's really good, Allie. Tell us more. We all have different abilities, skin colors, and religions. Some of us have different kinds of families or speak different languages. Our differences make us unique and special, but we are all kids who like to have fun together. We all like to play hide and seek on the playground. We like to eat lunch and laugh. We want to have friends and tell jokes. I took a breath. That was the most I've ever said in front of the class. I sat back down. My face felt weirdly hot. I don't talk like that in front of the class, but I had something important to share. Then Mr. Clark said something really cool. Did you know that Allie's name also has another meaning? It's spelled the same, but you say it like this, ally. Do you know what that word means? Everyone was quiet. An ally is someone who helps others who are different. An ally is there for you when you are teased or when someone treats you unfairly. It can be a teacher, a parent, or a friend. Does that make sense? Everyone looked a bit confused, even me. Mr. Clark said, it's funny, Allie taught us something special and important today. We can see how we are different, but that doesn't mean we don't have to treat people differently. Then he asked, how can you be an ally to kids who are different from you? I decided right then that I'm committing to be an ally to my classmates. I will listen and learn more about them. When I know more about my friends, I can see how alike we really are. This makes me a better friend and an ally to everyone. Together, take the ally promise. And look at our caregiver, parent, and educator discussion guide for more. More information can be found at thelittleallies.com. There you can download the Ally Promise, take it together, as well as go through the discussion questions. Thank you for being an ally.